Good morning, everybody. How many people here are doing pay-per-click now? Wow. So it's not just coming, it's already here. It's here. And the good news is more markets will be opening up, so there will be more opportunity. Plus, if you pay close attention to what I'm telling you, you'll do possibly 2 to 5 times better with your existing pay-per-click. I'm going to be going through about 30 slides in a very short time. May I offer them a copy of the slide deck?
Sure.
Okay. Please give me your card if you want a copy of the slide deck. I'm also going to be describing a lot of resources that you can get for free, and I'll be happy to send them to you by email if you just give me your card afterward. And I also have cards with me to give you if you like. So I'm the owner of one of the first pay-per-click only advertising agencies. We've been doing it for over 5 years now. I host a weekly radio show called PPC Rockstars on Webmaster Radio. Had a really fun live interview with Guy Kawasaki for an hour 2 weeks ago, where we just reamed him. It was a live Twitter cast and audio cast. I also speak at all of the search industry shows and the advertising industry shows. I just started writing a book called PPC on 1 hour per day for Wiley Books that's going to be coming out in January. And I'm kind of obsessed with Twitter, so anybody tweeting right now? No? Okay. I just took a photo of all of you and tweeted it. So if you'd like to see that, you can go to my address here, Szetela. And please, I think I've done 6,000 tweets since January, and most of those are pointers to resources about pay-per-click. So it's really good stuff. I read like 200 articles a day, and I only retweet 10, maybe. So it's distilled good stuff. So I'm not going to tell you that there's a lot of opportunity already. You already know that. I frequently talk to people. In fact, I talked to somebody at the Players Bar last night who said, yeah, I mean, it's such a tough advertising medium because the keywords are so competitive. And I said, well, you know, a successful, optimal PPC campaign, the keywords are just one important but relatively equal factor in the success of a campaign. Everything's got to be working correctly. The keywords, the ads, the bid prices, landing pages, if there's a conversion path, every step of that path has to be optimized. Lots and lots of testing, constant testing, and then you have to be very good at reporting and analysis of the results. So with that, I'm going to start with a distinction that a lot of PPC advertisers don't understand. Obviously, PPC ads appear on the search results page, but there's a whole other giant potential advertising medium called contextual advertising, where the Google ads appear on sites that are monetizing their content. We're going to talk a lot about that at the beginning of this presentation because advertisers tend to neglect it or at least be afraid of it. So tip number 1, if your setup looks like this in Google AdWords, and by the way, Yahoo and Microsoft have this setting by default as well. If your campaign setup looks like this, then you're losing money. Search and content should never be combined in the same ad groups or campaigns. And I do mean never. So first tip is turn that sucker off. If you just want to run a search campaign, turn it off completely. If you want to run a content campaign, turn off Google Search and Search Network. So the one thing that is most misunderstood about content advertising is the role of keywords. Advertisers that are used to thinking in terms of, I'm going to anticipate search terms, I'm going to bid on those keywords, and when someone types in those search terms, my ads will appear. Keywords are completely different in content campaigns. What you're really saying to Google with keywords in a keyword-targeted content campaign is, Google, please show my ad on pages that contain some or all of the following words, and that's your keyword list. So frequently, those words have nothing to do with your product or service. Think in terms of the pages where you want your ads to appear and the people you want to see your ads. And never more than 5 or 10 keywords per ad group. This is also somewhat counterintuitive for PPC search advertisers who think, you know, I need to have a lot of keywords in my ad groups. The content matching algorithm actually gets confused if you have more than 5 or 10. Another key for success on the content network is you want to make sure that your ads are not appearing in the wrong places, which frequently happens. I'm sure you've all seen pages on sites where the ads bear no resemblance to the content. And the way you make sure that you get your ads in the right place, obviously, are the keywords I just talked about, but also you should run a placement performance report frequently, standard Google report, that shows you all the sites where your ads are appearing, along with all the performance characteristics, conversion rate, cost per conversion, etc. And good content advertisers run these reports frequently, once a week or so, and see which ads are performing poorly, and exclude those ads from ad rotation. Another misunderstanding is the difference between content ads themselves and search ads. Content ads, nobody's searching for your product and service. So the ad really needs to jump off the page and distract the site visitor away from the content that they came to see. So they really have to stand out. And you can be, there's a lot of latitude you have in the language you can use because you're not trying to match a search term or a keyword. So very, very strong calls to action, very, very competitive words that jump off the page. Here's an example. The ad at the top is a pretty good search ad. Assuming that someone typed in custom blue widgets, that's a great ad for custom blue widgets. But it's not a great ad for the content network. The content network, again, the ad has to jump off the page, distract attention away from the content. So imperative verbs work really well. Stop right now, read this right now. Contrary things, crazy things, they work really well. And then keeping in mind that frequently the person seeing the content ad, remember, they didn't search, so they're not in the mood for buying. You might have to give them a soft offer rather than a hard offer. So for content ads, it might make sense for you to drive them to a page that just gets their name and address in exchange for a poker tips PDF, for example, and then hit them with an email campaign afterward. Okay, I'm going to switch to search PPC. Again, I remember the guy I was having a conversation with last night about, oh, it's really competitive, you can't make any money in search because the keywords are too expensive. Well, here are ways to reduce your cost per click. First of all, pretty obviously, use a lot of common stems. Don't bid on just online poker, bid on best online poker in Germany. People don't also realize, this pertains more to English than other languages, but Americans are bad spellers. So they frequently use the incorrect pluralization of nouns. And if you're not bidding on those incorrect pluralizations, then your ad won't appear. But if you do bid on them, everybody outside of the room today are not bidding on them, you'll get the clicks cheaper. As someone said yesterday on the SEO panel, you must bid on your own domain name, especially if you're going with content, because sometimes they'll come to your site, neglect to convert at that point, remember your domain name and type that into the search box. Not only that, the exact domain name, but all variations of the domain name, with the www in front of it, with the HTTP in front of it, without the com, with a space com, everything. Believe me, they type it in and you get those clicks for nothing, and they convert very, very well. Also experiment with weird delimiters in your keywords. People type in the strangest things in the search boxes, and frequently they'll type in things like greater than sign or a plus sign, and if you bid on the keywords that contain those, nobody else is, you get the clicks really cheap. Another thing a lot of advertisers don't realize is you can bid on your competitors' names. You can bid on party gaming, party poker, full tilt, you can bid on all of those. And again, if you bid on every variation of them, you'll be stealing traffic away from the competitors and the clicks will be much cheaper. Writing great text ads is a real art. And I see very, very few ads that adhere to best practices and just basically marketing 101 techniques. So I'm going to show you some examples, but whenever possible, these are search ads now. Put the search term, the keyword, in the headline. And then if you've got room, some kind of qualifier. That is the best way to make sure that the person doing the search says, oh, this ad is exactly what I'm looking for. Frequently, benefits work better than features. So it's okay to say, we have giant jackpots. It's better to say, you'll get rich and you can buy a car. That's the benefit. You want to talk about how they are going to feel once they win at your site.